Welcome to the Mind Gains podcast. Today, we mark a very special occasion for the potty. 6 months straight of podcasts every Sunday. This week, we welcome the Partnerships Manager at Future Golf, one of Australia's largest golf clubs, Jones Comerford. Enjoy. Alrighty, Jones Comerford, mate. Welcome to the Mind Games podcast. How are we doing?
Good, mate. How are you?
Mate, very well. Take two. We're in here again. No one would believe us if we told you what time it is of the night. But, mate, very grateful you coming aboard. Very grateful for your support with this. So, thank you to the audience. This is now my 26th straight episode, so 6 months straight. Pretty good achievement, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. But the coolest part about that for me is actually being able to start to look to partner with some different companies and different brands. The reason Jones is here today, going to partner with a company called Future Golf. So for me, it was very much when I wanted to partner with some companies, it was very much about finding companies that, one, I can give back to my audience, which we can. We got a great offer for you guys with that. Two, it's something that I actually am interested in and use myself. And three, it's something that aligns with my moral compass. So Future Golf's a cracking new company that's sort of come through. How many years have you been going for now?
Oh, mate, it's probably been nearly 15 years now, but I'd
Is
say
it
the
really?
Yeah.
It's brand new.
Yeah. No, but Ali started, I think, roughly 15 years ago.
Yep.
But yeah, I think for the average punter, I think the last sort of 2-3 years, it's really started to kick off.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's a great concept. We're going to get into that throughout the episode. But, mate, how you doing?
Good, mate.
You
Happy
look
to
good.
be here. Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you. I feel good.
I love it. Mate, we sort of know each other through a guy who seems to get a shout out every episode. So Dane Gardner, great shout out.
Yeah.
But
Another Park supporter in the building as well. Flexi over here.
Go the Eels, just lost by 50. Yeah, you're from Dubbo. I was born in Dubbo. Dubbo boys, maybe why we connected a little bit. But, mate, tell us a little about your journey and your golf journey.
Yeah, mate. So, like you said, grew up in Dubbo. I was actually born in Orange. So, I was 2 years old when I moved to Dubbo and
Moved to the Big Smoke.
Big Smoke, exactly right. So, I grew up on the golf course there, but didn't start playing golf until I was probably 9 or 10 years old.
On the first hole, wasn't it?
First hole, yeah.
Par 5 on the right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, on the first.
How many
green,
times
pretty
you
much.
eagled that? One.
Don't know. A few times. I'll be humble there.
Talk me through what's your shot there.
It's a great hole actually to start. So it's got a little gully that runs through the middle. When it floods, that obviously fills up with water, which is interesting. But it's got out of bounds all on the right, which is covered with houses.
I think I hit it there.
Yeah.
Might eat your house.
And then there's water actually on the 27th because it's 27 holes, but it's on the left side. And it's probably, you've got to get it about 280, 290 to be able to get there. But in summer,
it's a 4-iron, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. So it's a good hole. So you hit one down, then you've got maybe 7 or 8 iron in, and it's quite a small green. But you hit the green, you got a good putt for eagle.
Tell me, Dubbo Open 2022?
No, it would have been. I know where you're going, but it would have been early 2017, maybe.
2017.
Yeah.
What'd you shoot?
I had
27 holes.
I had 11 under for 27, which got hot that day, which was nice.
Is that the course record?
Yeah, so 9 for 18 is, yeah. So got challenged, actually. I'll shout out Cooper Giddings. He's a good junior coming through Dubbo at the moment. He had maybe 7 not long ago. So, shout out Cooper. He's playing good golf at the moment.
Nice. Mate, talk us through what part of your life sort of golf played. So, like, what I mean by that is, like, lessons you learn, things, experiences, things like that you think have sort of helped you with your life.
Oh, mate, I think just getting into golf at a young age, you learn obviously the etiquette side of things, meeting people, just the respect element of the game. Like, it's obviously a sport that you're not yelling and carrying on and cheering.
Sometimes.
Depends who you are, yeah. But for the most part, getting into it, it's definitely obviously quite intimidating. You're playing with older gentlemen and you know, you've got to learn to be patient and control your emotions and wait for people's turns and whatever it might be. So I think that was a big thing for me.
Have you ever reflected on that and gone, these are the sort of things I learned through golf, or not really? just till we had to take one the other day?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I think as I get older, I appreciate it more, and it's probably more now seeing younger guys come through golf. So even when I'm playing golf now, I might play with a 14, 15, 16-year-old, and you talk to them and you hear them and you go, oh, okay, it's funny because it's a bit weird seeing a 14-year-old act so mature and I guess adult-like.
Yeah.
But it's exactly what I was trying to do when I was that age. So I think there's something to it in terms of, just shaking someone's hand after the round, saying good game, taking your hats, off inside the clubhouse, just little things like that where you learn, I guess, how to act in an adult environment at such a young age.
Yeah, cool. Talk me through like the golf addiction. There's a golf bug. You catch it. Everyone's caught it at some stage in their life who's ever played golf.
100%. And I can tell you how I got mine. So I was a young kid, 9, 10 years old when I started. And one of my mates down the road, who also lived on the golf course, got a set of clubs.
Give him a shout out.
Connor Mace.
Connor.
Yep, way back.
Big fan of the pod, actually.
Yeah,
Connor.
he is. and he got a set of golf clubs, and he's going to laugh if he hears this or when he hears this. And I remember I went straight home and I was like, Mum and Dad, I want a set of golf clubs. And they were like, you've never even looked at golf or been interested in golf. You've given Dad, shit for it, blah, 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 blah. So Dad said, if you go down and hire a 5-iron and take somewhat of an interest to it, we'll get involved. Or we'll get you a set of clubs. Went down for 2 weeks, got absolutely hooked on it. Just every single day would just hit balls like mindlessly, doing whatever. And then it was around Christmas, so I got a set of clubs for Christmas. And since then was just absolutely hooked. Loved every part of it. But had a clinic with Craig Mears, another shout out there, who was the pro at Dubbo. And he was great. Like he ran clinics most in the school holidays and stuff like that. So I think the first one was at the Chipping Green. I went down and he was just picking random people to come up and hit shots and do a demo. And I went up, first shot, just hit the flop shot like straight in the hole. I couldn't even see it. The bunker was up there. And he was like, oh, it's gone in the hole. And, sort of like 10 kids sort of reacting. And I was like, yeah, sold, done.
How good.
Yeah.
He's had a good gang there too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's
some good golfers coming through.
Yeah, 100%. It was everyone lived on the course, right? So it was like summer was cricket. Winter was footy, and then everything in between was like just let's go play golf. So
yeah,
it was awesome.
What I find with golf too is it's there's like a mutual respect. Like anyone who sort of plays off single figures, you kind of have a little bit of a mutual respect with people, like because you don't get there by accident. You can't just you don't just pick up a golf club and you can play off 8 or 9 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah. You can't really fake it, right?
Yeah,
you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm naturally gifted or naturally talented. And you're not going to go out and have 3 over.
Correct. It's proper a direct correlation with how much work you put in.
Definitely.
Then you were like what, 12, 13 when you got to about scratch?
Yeah.
How was that? Do you remember that moment?
I remember scratch being like the pinnacle, and it's funny what I thought about scratch when I was young. Like it was when you get dedicated to golf or take it so seriously, scratch does become a bit of the pinnacle. And I think it's funny looking at it now, like once I thought when I got to scratch, which was about 12, 13, you would hit everything down the middle, everything on the green, and then every putt would scare the hole. And it's really not like that. It's most probably 3, 4, even 5 markers are so much closer to scratch than what they think they are. It's more decisions, management, having a certain miss, whatever it might be. It's not actually a skill thing. It takes skill to get to a 6, 5, 4 handicap, whatever. But to get to the scratches and even the +1s to +2s, +3s, +4s, whatever it might be, it's really just the little things that you can't necessarily notice in a ball striking element or even a short game statistical analyst or whatever it might be. So, yeah, to answer your question, once I got to scratch, it was like, oh, cool. And then everyone around you, there's people +2, +3, +4. So it's just like, okay, I've got to get there to compete or whatever it might be.
Yeah, love it. Obviously, you sort of continued to sort of ride that journey. You started getting coached in Sydney and different things. And then towards your late teens, you left the big smoke of Dubbo.
Yeah.
You got an opportunity to head to the States.
Yeah. So
talk us through that.
Yeah. So it was quite interesting. I think when I was about 14 or 15, I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. And I think that's basically when you start thinking about whether it's uni or sport or, becoming a tradie, whatever it might be. And that was sort of always in the back of my head. I wanted to play golf. I just didn't really know how I was going to do it. Like, I wasn't a world beater by any means. I was a decent sort of competitive junior golfer.
That's not what you told me off air.
Yeah, I know, humble. But yeah, so it was sort of in the back of my head of what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how. And then 2016, I had quite a decent year in terms of just junior golf in Australia. I won a couple of events. I won Vic Junior Masters, which got me into the Vic Open. So that was just a big thing, being 16 years old for me anyway. And then Aussie All Schools, I won that as well in Adelaide. So through that came some college scouting. And then all of a sudden I was like, shit, I can go to America and still study and, get some opportunity to play over there. And that's what most of the pros over there are doing anyway. So why not? And that basically took me to LA, which was a junior college that I started at.
Yeah, wow. Whereabouts? LA?
It was Valencia. So it's called College of the Canyons. So I finished school in 2017 in October. And then January 3rd, I was landing at LAX and basically about to start uni. And it was a very unique experience. Like, a junior college is very different to a Division 1. And there was a lot of different reasons why I thought maybe going to a junior college would have been better for me. So
what were they?
More so just settling in. So particularly my dad and I, we didn't really know what it looked like going over there. So you get in contact with agents and people who are familiar with the golf scene over there. Some are right, some are wrong. And I think looking back now, I wish I went straight to a Division 1. Not only just for the competitiveness, but for the experience as well. Like, junior colleges are great, and I'm definitely not putting them down, but in terms of a competitive aspect of golf, it's just not up to date what the Division 1s are.
In other words, he won almost every event.
And that's not saying much. Like, honestly, I'm like, yeah. So that was a big thing. But in saying that as well, I moved over there and I lived with two Swedish guys, like coming straight from Dubbo. I moved in LA. Two Swedish guys, an Argentinian, and shout out Clemente. I know he's listening to the pod in Argentina.
He loves it. He loves it.
And he was great. He was a couple of years older, and he just showed me the ropes, and he was awesome. And to this day, he's still one of my best buddies. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So did you have a good coach there?
Yeah, he was good. Again, most of the coaches, and this isn't a negative thing, but they're more managers. Like, again, if you're a good junior or a good amateur golfer, you've probably already got your own coaches or systems or fundamentals that you're following anyway, either from yourself or a coach that you've had from a young age. So they're more in a manager position and role. They're trying to guide you and look after you. And at the end of the day, it's a business for them, mate. Like, they've got a job to withhold. They're a golf coach. They're trying to get the best cattle, get the best team, get the best results.
For sure.
And then when your 2, 3, 4 years is up, then, they're funneling through the next guys anyway. So
I suppose in a way, if you have a Victor Hovland come through, that's the meal ticket, right?
100%.
If he wants to bring you on as a full-time coach, that's it. So that's kind of what their end game is, right?
Yes and no. So when you get to the big schools, so I eventually got to a Division 1.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
And by any means, it wasn't a big school. But if you're going to like those top sort of 15, 20 schools, the coaches are just like football coaches. They're not worried about, becoming a mechanical coach for these guys. They're more just trying to have an impact on their college career. They might caddy for some big events like the US Amateur or whatever it might be, but really just trying to have an influence on them, guide them in the right direction, try and help with the 1% of things.
Yep.
And then ultimately they know that they've got the game and ability to go into the professional ranks.
Yeah, okay, nice. So you spent a year there, then you're off to South Dakota.
Yes.
How'd that come about?
So I got to LA, again, loved it.
You're all on scholarship here, right, too?
Yeah, so some of it. So the scholarship system's funny, but for the most part, yes, for all of it. Full scholarships, it's percentage-wise and stuff like that. But South Dakota was pretty much the scholarship became a big deal in terms of the decision for me. So, yeah, got to LA and it was great, but really knew I wanted to get out and start playing Division 1 sort of competition. And once I basically started trying to get out and get recruited, which it happens really itself anyway if you're having the results. Yeah, the coach from South Dakota reached out and basically wanted to have a meeting. So he actually flew to LA and sat down with me for lunch, which I thought was a big deal, and offered me a really, really good scholarship. So without really weighing much up, I was like, bugger it, I'll go to South Dakota, I'll play Division 1 golf. You know, they've got a really good program, and this coach, you know, is pretty well respected, and did that. And then I got there and didn't realise how cold it was, as stupid as that sounds.
Yeah.
It was abysmal. I remember the first month I got there was a polar vortex, and it was minus 40 degrees Celsius, and we weren't allowed outside. From Dubbo, pretty weird.
Yeah, right. Talk me through practice. How was that?
So the indoor facility was off its head.
Yeah,
It was unbelievable. It's a multi-million-dollar facility that we basically had some donor build, and it had everything you could need and want in a indoor practice facility.
You had free reign to it?
Yeah,
You could go in there at 3 a.m?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Which a lot of the guys did. We just go in there and just stuff around and chipping comps and whatever it might be. It's just not the same for me anyway, because I grew up, again, in Dubbo, playing at Dubbo, and it was like, go out and you can play as many holes as you want. So from a competitive side of things and development, I just wasn't getting, I think, what I wanted out of it. So again, same thing, tried to get in the transfer portal, which wasn't hard. And basically, I knew then I wanted to go to a school that was basically warm, 12 months, or even if it was seasonal, it wasn't going to snow for 8 months of the year. But in saying that, South Dakota was a really cool experience. I loved it, but it was just, again, I really wanted to sort of get to that next level where I was actually able to, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Which took you to Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah. Finally ended up there at GCU, which was amazing. It was basically everything that I was looking for, and saying that all the other experience that came with LA and South Dakota were unbelievable. But in terms of just, I was there for golf and wanted to improve my golf. And once I got to Phoenix, I was like, okay, this is where that definitely is going to happen, and it's on me now. Not that it wasn't before, but more of just the opportunity to get better was so real in terms of, we had our own golf course for starters. It was a public course, but it was called GCU Golf Club. And we just had free access and full reign to go and use the trackmans there on the range or go play holes. And even the schedule of school, like we had class Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7 to 11. And then every other day of the week, we were basically getting put on clubs around Phoenix and Scottsdale. Like, it's, to me, that was like, this is insane. And to the guys there, I was like, oh yeah, this is normal.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because we'll get to that, because I think that kind of brings us to something that we both love about future golf. But from there, COVID hits, back to Australia. Talk us through where your golf sort of went from there.
Yeah, so COVID went crazy, 2020.
Sorry, before you get to that, what advice would you give like a junior kid coming through in Australia, wanting to go pursue college golf or anything like that?
Do it for sure. Like, that's the first. Just go, because there's always going to be a flight home.
Yep.
If you go there for 3 days and it's the worst thing in the world, there's fly home. And really weigh up what you want and what you want to get out of it, and let that make the decision for you. So if you're going over there to just get an experience and get an education, find out what the best school is, find out where you want to live, find out where you'll have fun. If you want to go out there to get better, find out who's been to the school, where the school's at, what facilities you have, just all the things like that. Seems quite logical that I probably didn't do that well.
Yeah. Okay, so if you had your time again, what would you change?
I'd go straight to a Division 1.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Just go straight there, figure it out. You're around it from the get-go, because it becomes harder. There's a lot of NCAA rules that I won't get into, but once you sort of go to one school, or particularly a JUCO, which is a junior college, it's very hard to then, because you basically, it's like a football player, right? You're just taking years off your career.
Yeah.
So once you go, you only get 4 years of eligibility in an NCAA or Division 1 school.
Yeah.
So once you go, then like, well, I don't want to get him on this scholarship.
If he's only there for 3 years.
If I'm only going to get 3.5 years out of him.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, but my advice would be go. Just find it out, go. If you hate it, bugger it, come home.
Yeah, sweet. Then brought you back to Sydney.
Yep. So I came home, COVID, which was a weird time for everyone. Still wanted to give golf like a red hot crack, and just, I guess, waited out the COVID period.
Are you playing at Bonnie-Doon at this stage?
Yep. So I was a member at Bonnie-Doon when I was like 14, 15. I got on a junior program there, which was really cool and fortunate. And then, so I came back, started playing at Bonnie-Doon and practicing and playing even through the COVID stuff, and decided to go to Q school and came up a bit short there the first year, and the same thing the second year. And I think just probably one, like the level of skill of just professional golf is a different level. Like I'm a good golfer, but there's levels to everything, and being a good golfer and a great golfer and elite golfer, and then there's pro golf. So it's apples and oranges when you sort of compare it up to actually making a living out of it. And I think I just got to a point where I was like, you know what, I love this game and for what it is, but I just don't know if one, I'm good enough, and if two, if it's worth sort of. Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Like, mate, not to piss in your pocket, but like we played pretty recently, and you had 4 under with a 4 putt. So
I knew this was
and it was a 4 putt from 5. It was a 4 putt from 5 feet, mind you, for birdie.
4 feet, maybe.
He made double. So he should have had 6, 7 under, but but like. I think like you get those things where it's everything's timing. It's a battle of attrition. Like you see those guys who, I guess a lot of the cricket stories, a lot of even that Setu that played for the Dragons. He's 27, coming back with ACLs, different things like that. Like a lot of times with sport, it's a battle of attrition. If you, for lack of a better term, if you kick the ball at the goals enough time, eventually it's going to go in. I don't know whether like. Like you get it on a different day. The Q school's at a different course. Something changes and things can still go your way.
And even for me, like I sort of look at it now and just taking opportunities. Like even through Future Golf itself, there's stuff that presents itself, and with just the progression of everything, it's definitely not off the radar. Like I still love golf, and I'd still love an opportunity to play at it, but I think there's that point too. I want to be logical with things as well, and but with all that said, like it's definitely not. I wouldn't say I've hung up the boots yet. So it's more about just taking opportunities, and I'm just sort of figuring it out. But
fortunately, you work in the golf industry still, which brings us to Future Golf.
Yes,
mate, talk us through that first coffee you had with the COO.
Yes.
And talk us through how it came about.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit about Future Golf. So Ali, who's the CEO and founder, like I said earlier in the podcast, I think he started it roughly around 15 years ago, give or take. And basically in Victoria, he was in Melbourne, and his I guess idea around golf was it's so hard and accessible to get into for starters, and it was at the time it was actually a dying game. So golf pre-COVID and after COVID are completely different things.
I'm a prime example of that. I didn't play before COVID.
Yeah, mate, 90% of the people that I talk to who are new to golf are the same. They're like, the only reason I did it is because I lived, 15 minutes from a golf club or whatever it was, and that's all I could do for exercise. But so Ali basically said, like, I think there's a gap in the market here. Like, it's, if I feel like this, I can't be the only one. Like, not only getting into golf clubs that have 3 or 4 year wait lists, but also turning up to even public golf courses and really having no idea what to do. So I think his vision is like pretty impressive, and the way he went about it, and to just basically start with an idea and to where it is now, like I know he'd be very proud of it. And it's pretty much, like I said, what brought me to Brenton. So I got in contact with Brenton around, it would have been May or even April last year, and I actually didn't know much about Future Golf. So I've been playing golf since 9, 10 years old, quite competitively. And I went for a coffee with Brenton, and again, I had no idea. So I was like, this is going to be interesting, but I'd really love a job. I want to get back in the golf industry, and I'm sort of going to go to this guy and probably just say like, it sounds good, and we'll see how it goes. And within 10 minutes, he explained it to me and how it works and who it benefits. And I was like, holy crap, that's a really, one, it's a great idea. And two, that is such there's such a demand for it. Like it's so necessary for the way everything's going, not only in technology, but just, particularly bigger cities as well. Like it's so hard to play golf, as you know, in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, wherever. It's it's not an easy sport to just go and figure out or
Absolutely
turn
not.
up at.
And it's also not like the affordability piece is a massive thing. Like not everyone can afford, you know, thousands of dollars a year. Like the cost of living, not just in Sydney, but for example, cost of living in Sydney is ridiculous at the moment. So, and I don't think it's going anywhere, anywhere south anytime soon. So, you know, the affordability piece, not like, you know, if a lot of people can't afford, don't have the time, they're time poor, don't have the time to, you know, justify paying thousands of dollars for a golf membership. The thing for me, like I am a member at the Coast Golf Club, so shout out the guys at the Coast Golf Club, I love it there. But also being a part of Future Golf, like I guess if you weren't a member of a club, it houses your golf handicap. You get accessibility to a wide number of courses. I think it's over 200 now across Australia and New Zealand. Is that right?
Australia, yeah.
Just Australia, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's you know there's competitive events you guys can do. There's like-minded people you can meet.
Yeah.
There's obviously you know the club champs, the Future Golf Club champs, and different things. So you can still be a part of that sort of club environment and that that group environment that kind of is the best part of a golf club, as well as the lessons golf teaches you, which you kind of touched on earlier. So like that. You know, that respect piece, you're not talking while people are hitting, you got to wait for each person to hit the ball, you take your hat off, shake their hand, you're still taking your hat off to go into clubs. And I think like the biggest thing from what I've seen is like, it's also what it's bringing to the golf clubs, which I'm sure you can touch on, but like, you know, people around that 30-year-old mark, they spend money at bars, behind bars, getting the bistros, having food in the gaming area, things like that, which just adds that little bit more foot traffic through the club, which, you know, a lot of times, you know, it just adds to that bottom line. But mate, talk us through like your day to day and what I guess what Future Golf's mission is.
Yep. Well, for sure. So pretty much just for the audience, I guess Future Golf in a nutshell, it's an online golf membership. So it's not like your traditional golf membership where you pay a fee to one club and then you only get access to that one club. We're very unique in that sense. We're an online golf membership, like I said.
And there's different tiers, right?
There's different tiers, yeah. I'll get into that in a sec, but so basically there's a bunch of different partners that we have, and the membership, like you said, the tiered of memberships that is there is the accessibility is based on what you're getting from the club. So we're very lucky, like the whole thing that makes Future Golf is our partners, right? So yeah, instead of having that one traditional golf membership, you get access to a variety of different clubs. Like you said, we've got 200 clubs in Australia, which is unbelievable, and 55 of them are in New South Wales. So there's 3 different tiers of membership. There's basically the beginner, there's the intermediate, which is called the golfer, and then the addict membership. And depending on what membership you get in that category, depends on the access that you get to our partnered clubs. So with that comes, you know, whatever membership you get, you go and play certain clubs, you find out what you don't like, what you do like, and we're about giving back to the industry as well and our partner golf clubs. So we love it when we hear or see that guys from Future Golf have then joined a club of one of our partners, because they've gone in, they've got their free introductory round at the club, and then they've gone, you know what, I love this, I love everything about it, I'm ready to sort of be set at whatever club it might be and play. And then that gives us a little bit of credit, going like, you know what, this is what we're trying to push, this is what we're trying to drive. We're not there to take members or disrupt. We actually want to just integrate into the golf industry and
be a positive influence on the industry and partner with the industry and really make golf more inclusive, make golf more accessible, things like that.
100%. And like, you know, golf's a scary game. I'm lucky I was young when I got into it, but I couldn't imagine being 24, 25, 26 years old, living in Sydney and going, oh yeah, my mate's at XYZ Golf Club, it's $10,000 to join and there's a 4-year wait list. I'm not going to wait 4 years and I'm not going to pay 10 grand. Like, it's just, if you've never played before, it's not going to happen. But if there's this membership where I can get accessibility to a wide variety of courses and it's nowhere near as much money and I get a Golf Link handicap, massive, because without a Golf Link handicap...
It's Golf Australia now.
Golf Australia, yeah. Where's the credibility, right, though? So, like, if I go, oh, hey, Mitch, you know, you play golf, and you go, yeah, and I go, what are you off? And you're like, I don't have a handicap. I'm like, well, that doesn't tell me much. Where if you're like, oh, I'm a 13.2 or whatever it might be, and I play here, and I've had this score or whatever it might be, it also gives you access to play events and become competitive. And like you said, you're a part of something. You're a part of the Future Golf Club, which is a big thing as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a couple other cool pieces that I've sort of noticed as well, like a key part, and mind you, this doesn't happen at my golf club because they boys look after me massively, and I'm very grateful for Seb. Shout out Seb Howe. But he gets a shout out a lot as well, actually. He's got a few. You'll love that. But it is like something I've noticed when I go play like different golf clubs is it's just a pain. It's a painful process either going online and booking something or and trying to book something, or like calling up the pro shop and it'll be like, hey mate, can I get a round of golf this morning in the comp or whatever, or social round? And they're like, oh yeah, what time? Oh, what times are available? And it's just a very awkward. Sometimes they don't answer. The pro shop will be busy. The online stuff's normally a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
The app actually is linked with, what's it called?
My Club.
Which is linked with a lot of golf courses, which essentially you can go on there, book it straight away. It's a seamless, simple process. Essentially, there's live scoring on there.
Yep.
Different things like that. You can engage with other members throughout it as well, which I found really cool. As you said, the golf handicap gives you a little bit of credibility with your golf game. Something I will sort of touch on as well is what I found with golf, and tell a little bit of a story. In the corporate world, there was kind of like a little bit of a period. It was when I was playing a fair bit of golf. My handicap was reasonably low, and there was someone who was pretty senior in a business, and he wasn't really giving me the time of day. He just thought I was a battler. He's definitely right, but
I was going to say, he's hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head. He's a good judge of character, but he just kind of wasn't really giving me anything. He was giving me donuts. And then sort of golf got brought up, and someone said, oh, Mitch plays golf. And he goes, oh, what do you play off? And at the time, it was like 3 or 4, and next minute he was my best mate. Whenever I needed anything, he was all like, wanted to chat to me, about golf. It's a great equalizer in a lot of ways, and that's what I love about it. That's my favourite thing about golf. It just, you could be there with a billionaire, but because you play off +5, he's there wanting to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, mate, I want to know how you got to there, and he wants to know how you got to there. So it's a great equalizer in a lot of ways. That's what I love about the sport. It's probably my favourite piece. But yeah, also the other little lessons that I want to ask you a few questions about after we sort of touch on the future golf stuff. Lessons that even maybe subconsciously you think you maybe learnt. What are some other stuff, I guess, that the app sort of brings?
Mate, the apps...
Well, what does it bring to the golf clubs besides that inclusivity and what we sort of touched on?
To be honest, mate, just the innovation around the app itself. I don't know if there's anything else really in the golf industry around the world that's similar to us in terms of what our app provides. So we've got the live scoring, which is great for personal development, for bragging rights, whatever you want to do, just for tracking your own score. Getting your golf link on there as well, your Golf Australia handicap's huge. Just all the promos that the golf clubs get out of it, our commercial partners. So the aim for the app was basically to get our consumers and our members glued to it, which being through it, it's very easy to do. It's got everything that you need to stay connected to the game, really, or to future golf in it. So it's got our events, schedules, everything that's coming up. It's got all the club promos that whatever clubs might be doing. It's got all the bookings. Like I said, it's got the handicap stuff. It's got the live scoring. So it's continually getting better and bigger. But the biggest thing I think for us probably in the last 5 to 6 months is the My Club stuff, is the booking platform. So like you said, it can be a bit difficult sometimes basically to call or email or try and get a booking externally through basically the middleman, the guys in the pro shop. There might be stuff available, there might not be. Like I said, the guys might not answer. So basically going straight into our app, going straight into the My Club portal, finding out what tee times are available, what aren't, and booking straight through there. It's just so seamless and easy. I think that's a big thing for us and again, makes it a lot easier for the golf clubs.
Yeah, cool. Is it worth it if someone's just playing like once or twice a month?
100%. Like I said, there's 3 different tiers of membership. So there's a beginner, and then there's the intermediate, and then there's the addict, which is the full, and they all vary into what the golfer or consumer needs or wants. In saying that, they're all great. They're all tailored for the certain type of golfer, I guess, the person wants to be. But with that, they all get a golf link handicap and stuff like that. So I think that's a big thing. Like if anyone wants to get into golf, you really want to find out where you're at, and getting a golf link is going to do that for you.
Yeah, cool. With the Attic membership, you get access to certain prestige courses. What's your favourite?
Ooh. Mate, the best thing about our prestige courses is they're all different, and you get access to all of them. So I'm going to say all of them for the reason that they're all very different.
Give me one.
And through a prestige club, you get the access to them. Like, I could say what I love about Bonnie Doon is completely different at the Vintage, and what's completely different at the Vintage is different to Ride Parramatta or Newcastle, Oatlands, whatever it might be. They're all unique in their own way, and they're all a prestige club. So I think just being able to get the access to them is huge. And again, we're very grateful for the clubs to get the partnership rolling through our guys, and we hope that they see the benefits from that as well.
Yeah, cool. That's essentially summarises Future Golf.
Yep, I'll just cut you off there too. Check out the app, because just download it, see what it's about. You know, have a suss. It's got everything in there. It's really cool. It's really innovative. Another thing I'll plug as well, we've got our tradie series coming up, hosted with Fujitsu, powered by ACD Trade. So it's really cool, the events that we're doing there. Obviously, being a tradie series, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting.
Do I need to have a tool belt to? Like, I'm a bit of a pen pusher.
We'll keep you away from the tools, I think. But it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really exciting. So we've got some spots opened. I think it's early April. Thursday the 9th, if I'm right. Yeah, 2-man Ambrose. It's going to be awesome. So, yeah, come through. It's going to be at Twin Creeks, the host. So we'll get you Group Mitchie. And
come say good day as well.
For sure.
Mate, I want to chat to you about your corporate life now. So obviously working with Future Golf, really cool role, really a bit of a passion role. You can really tell that in the way that you sort of speak about it as well. Working in partnerships for Future Golf. So how have you sort of transitioned from, you know, taking sport reasonably seriously into a bit of this partnership sort of sales role?
It's a good question. I think they're both highly competitive. The thing that I love about my role is obviously it's very sales objective, or based. But I really feel like my job does itself in the sense of I'm just going in there to give information, and I believe in the information, and I think that for 99% of clubs it really makes sense. Just for an example, if I were to walk into a golf club, and there's not a golf club in Australia that's booked out 7 days a week, it doesn't exist. You can go to Moore Park, which is a partner of ours, and there's still going to be tee times available from 7 days. So our objective is to try and utilise those times that aren't being used, and you know, there's off-peak spend there. So if no one's coming in at 1 p.m. on a Thursday, and four of our guys are coming in and getting their redemption rounds, and they're spending $50 a head, it's $200 made for the club. And depending on the club's success and how it works, we run very big events. Like I said, we've got one coming up at Twin Creeks. So there's that guaranteed event revenue. There's also our marketing and advertising, which is huge. So like I said, we've got just over 55,000 members engaged on our app. So if whatever golf club wanted to promote something that's going on, whether it's simple as a bistro deal or a membership package, or just simply want to promote something going on at their club, they go through us and we post that on our app or our social media or online forums. With that as well, we also have a large influencer base. So we've got guys and girls who are engaged in social media influencers and things like that. So those posts can go a long way in terms of just getting some reach and some eyeballs. So yeah, to get back to your question, mate, it's quite an easy sell for me in terms of going in and just relaying information to the clubs. Now, I will say there is a stigma around probably social golf, and Future Golf itself is probably seen as a bit of a disruptor, which if it's a black and white world, which I know we don't live in that, it's really not. It's there to benefit the consumer and the players and getting people into golf and making it more accessible and
helping
more
grow the game.
Yeah, and 100%, and just making it more of a community, and then to the club to give perks and, you know, basically see the rewards there. I think our average age is 35 years old or something, so can potentially turn into a member for, you know, another 30, 40 years for these clubs. So there's a lot of opportunity for golf clubs to partner with us and see some really good benefits.
Yeah, cool. What do you think the greatest lesson golfers taught you?
Gee. When you think you have everything figured out, you don't. When you think you have nothing figured out, you do.
I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. The thing is with golf, and what I was talking about earlier, how it's the great equalizer. You could stand up there and you'll stand on the range and you'll hit 15 draws in a row. You'll step up on the first tee and you'll block it right.
Cut, yeah.
Yeah, hit a big cut
Big
right.
flare.
Yeah, that's the great equalizer in so many ways. Every time you start getting a little bit ahead of yourself and you're thinking that you're playing well, you might finish with a couple of birdies or whatever in the round, and the next day you turn up and your swing's completely different. You're hitting it a different way. It doesn't matter if you're a complete hacker, someone who tries hard like me, or is a freak like Jones. It dead set just breaks you down.
Shoe on the other foot, mate, you can go out and you can be like, I haven't played good for 3 months. I've got absolutely no idea. You get one little feel or idea or thought, and then it's completely switched. And then you're 3 holes in, you're going, I don't know how I can ever play bad again. And then you're on your 17th hole going, I'm absolutely capitulating here.
Yeah.
Like, it's what's going on.
100%. It also it's a very big direct correlation with life, I reckon.
100%, yeah.
It's as corny as that sounds, but you can hit a great shot, end up in a shit situation. You can hit a terrible shot and end up in a really good situation.
100%.
It's about learning to deal, overcome, one's foot in front of the other, take that next step. My next question to you, what do you think golf sort of taught you that helps you with your day-to-day? I know it's a lot of crossover because you work in the golf industry, but what do you think the biggest thing is? And then I'll tell you what I think it is.
Probably something similar. For me, being in sales, you get a lot of no's, right? Or a lot of speed bumps if it's not a no. And I think it's just that's part of the game. It's never personal. It's all business for me anyway. Sometimes it can feel personal. But I think just continually doing the same thing if it's the right thing, and just committing to that. And I think, like you said, you can kind of do all the right things and a bad thing happens. But I think in the long run, the consistency just adds up and you end up in a pretty good spot. So
Yeah,
I think just, again, that sounded really good.
Yeah.
But reminding myself of that and just saying like, hey, you know what, just sort of keep plugging away. Sometimes you can have a shit day or a shit week and, hasn't gone to plan, but, what's a week to a year? It's bugger all.
Absolutely. I think from my point of view and getting to know you a little bit too, I reckon the biggest thing is that you've sort of taken aboard and ran with is in a sales role, as you said, you get a lot of no's, but there's a lot of introductions. So you're going in and you're meeting a lot of new people, you're meeting new clubs, you're meeting new members, all these sorts of different people that you're meeting. You've been doing that since you were 9 years old playing golf. So you've been walking on the Dubbo golf course, playing with a different 3 blokes, maybe not different every week, but, new people. You're playing with 40-year-old men, you're playing with 60-year-old men, you're playing with 30-year-old men. You're seeing guys smoking ciggies while they're walking around the golf course. I know they're not good things, but you're seeing that at 9 years old, being exposed to all that. So then now when, late 20s, you can sort of, whatever, early 20s, whatever, you can have the confidence, I guess, to walk in, have that, shake their hand, take your hat off, shake and look in the eye.
For sure.
All these little lessons that you kind of learn from golf. And I actually think even the junior golf part of it with Future Golf's a great opportunity. Go play different courses, go learn, go, have a bit of fun out there.
Yeah, I think that's, bang on, mate, to be honest. And again, just to bring it back to Future Golf, I think that's what makes me so excited about it as well. It is great for the game. It's so inclusive. It's a great community, and that really stems from the team that Future Golf has. It's from Ali and down. Ali started this with a vision, and guys like Brenton and the team, they do such a good job in really driving not only hard work and good work, but it's for the right idea and the right results. So. Like I said, I've only been on board now for probably 10 months, but it's been nothing but great stuff and something that I truly believe in. I'm so excited for what's to come. And again, with such a great team, not only around myself, but around everyone and Future Golf itself, it's going to be exciting. It's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, cool. What does success look like for you now?
Mate, to be honest, just getting some golf clubs, getting more and more golf clubs and making it more aware of, you know, what we're trying to do and how we're trying to impact the game. Now, there's a lot of different, I guess, types of success within a company like Future Golf. For me personally, it's partner acquisition and trying to get some golf clubs on board, particularly in New South Wales, and really see the benefits from that.
Yeah, cool. What about personally?
Ooh, that definitely comes in it. I don't know. I'd like to get more involved in playing and see what that looks like, but for now, mate, I'm just focused on my day-to-day and getting some golf clubs on board.
Love it. Love it. Mate, 16-year-old Jones walks through the door. What are you telling him?
Probably, mate, what we touched on before is just don't ride the lows and don't ride the highs. Just sort of sit even keel. I think I had a tendency potentially at 16 or when I was 16 to sort of, when it was going bad, I'd be down in the bad, and when it was good, I'd be up in the good. And I guess as I'm getting older, only 26, but I'm trying to still figure that out and probably just sit more in the middle of just, you know, success and failure.
Yeah, cool. Who's the best player you ever played with?
Ooh.
Or against?
Gee.
Was it someone in the States or was it here?
You know what? I'm not just saying this because Dimmy's a dear friend of yours and a guest of the show, but I played with Dimmy at Dubbo, believe it or not.
Dimmy's the OG.
And Dimmy, Dimmy was just impressive. For me, I feel like I'm such a golf nut. I appreciate the things that not most people couldn't see, but you wouldn't really pick up from just seeing a score. And I think the way Dimmy sort of conducted himself and just the routines he went through, and I was lucky enough to have a beer with him after the round, and he's just sort of discussed, you know, feelings and emotions that he's had on the golf club and the way he goes about things and his perspective on the game. And after hearing all of that and watching him play, it was quite impressive to me.
Mate, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I was sorry to interrupt you there, but I played a round with Dimmy Christmas Eve this year, actually, at Magenta Shores, and gave me a buzz, invited me out there, so very grateful for that. And mate, I had 1,000, but it was 40-kilometre winds. He's there playing off +7, had 35 points, which is 6 under. That's at 30, 40-kilometre winds, blowing an absolute Chris Gale. And he's gone out there and just, I couldn't believe what I was watching. And mind you, probably missed 6 or 7 like putts he wanted to make and thought he was going to make. So, mate, he's an absolute freak. But the story I want to tell you under that is, like, the front 9, I was chopping it, and he didn't really say too much to me. And I asked him a couple of questions kind of at the turn, and he was kind of like, oh, like, do you want me to help you? I'm like, are you serious? Like, does a one-legged duck swim in circles? Like, of course I want you to help me. And, mate, he helped me with a few things and still some stuff. Like, I sent him a video, which is going to be the launch video for our partnership with Future Golf, which you guys would have already seen on socials, but sent it to him, and he sort of said, with that swing, me, you, and John Rahm could be on the same pennant team. So
just around the hip,
I think I think I'll be playing number 1 of those 3. Mate, what's your go-to cheat meal?
Mate, I've got some shockers. Every now and then I'll go hard in the paint at Macca's, and there's no set order, and it's rare, but it's pretty bad. But I lock in nearly once a week at the Char.
Love it.
Chooky Phil on a wrap. If you know, you know. It's goated.
Yeah, so. My old Blake, one of my best mates, one of my groomsmen actually. He when he and I lived in Coogee, we used to get that like twice a week. It's the best.
So slept on. It's so good.
Yeah.
My missus is like, "What are you getting for dinner?" And she's like, "You're at the Char." And I'm like, yeah, Chooky Phil on a wrap. Bring
the
it
best.
to
The best. This is a cool question as well. Dead or alive, you dream golf foursome. So one day you just out there on whatever course you want. I want you to pick your course as well. Your prestige course.
Yeah. Not on there yet, but we'll get there. Give me a few years, but we'll go Augusta National.
Yep.
And I'd have Tiger. And I'd have...
For what reason?
For what reason? Just, I was obsessed with him as a kid.
Met him?
No, got close to him.
Tell us that.
2009 Australian Masters at Kingston Heath. And never really would have thought aura existed or understood it until he got near me, and it was
Different
the most.
gravy.
He was massive, so much bigger than I thought. Like everything, he was jacked and he was tall, and it was just insane. And that same day, his mum actually pulled me out of the crowd because I was wearing a little TW hat, and it was this little Asian lady sort of standing there with a big brim hat, and there's massive security guards around her, and sort of just pulled me over. And I was like 9 years old. I had no idea what was going on. And I remember like Dad sort of showed me back, like, go over there. Like he knew what was going on. She gave me this little gold pendant, and it just had like a little tiger, like an actual tiger, and the TW on it. She's like, oh, I love your hat. I love your hat. Then the security just pushed me out of the way once I got it. I had no idea what was going on. And then
You still got it?
Yeah, still got it. It's at home. So Tiger's in there just because he's Tiger.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'd have Alexander Volkanovski. I think he's just a
Friend of the
weapon.
show too. Big fan, actually.
Yeah, shout
Watches
out
this,
Volk.
Bolt.
I think he's just awesome, mate. He's the epitome of just humble, dedicated, hardworking, just such an impressive human being. And
You're a big chef too, aren't you?
yeah, I love cooking too, so I'm a big
Cooking
fan
with
of the
Volk.
cooking with Volk. So
I find that so funny that people know him for that, but not his fighting as well.
he gets
That's
comments, mate, and they're
Yeah, I know.
like, "Doesn't this guy fight?" I'm like, "Come on, give me a rest, just a featherweight champ."
Yeah.
So he's in there, and then I'd have to go my old man. He pretty much introduced me to golf, and he's been there, every step of the way, which probably hasn't been easy as the travel and financial commitments that I've probably put on him, and mum as well, but she's not a golfer, so she can sit and watch.
It's interesting that I love that you said that, because you kind of don't realise those, like, I don't know how old your parents were when they had you, but like I think about it now, and I was probably just starting to play some like representative cricket when my old man and my mum as well, sorry, and not just dad, but mum and dad would have been about my age or just a little bit older when I was starting to play some rep cricket and stuff. And to think that, like, I think about what I do on weekends.
Yeah.
I think about like Saturday, Sunday, I'm just driving my kid from the Central Coast to like Hawkesbury to stand in the field and play cricket and chase his dream. Like you're probably not grateful for it till you get a bit older.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I love that you said
And
that.
even how much, you enjoy it. Like it's, you take so much pride when I was playing good golf or just getting the opportunity to travel and you got mum and dad watching you. It's very, very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. Mate, very grateful for this. Jones Comerford, everybody. Future Golf, Times of Mind Games podcast. Watch your space. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, brother.